Well, good evening, my friends, and welcome back to Carpo's channel here. That's me, I'm Carpo. I'm on a walk with my dog, Lucy. Probably can't see her because it's dark out here, and he probably can't see me either. Honestly, don't know how much this GoPro picks up, but that said, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to get my dog walked. After I spent all day on my knees filling nail holes and prepping for paint, a bunch of trim I put in, and now I'm walking along with my knee hurting thinking, why did I choose this profession? Well, I didn't. It chose me. But I love it and I love what I do, even though it's painful, and that kind of reminded me of just the circumstances of life, and I decided to pull out my camera and make a little video. So here I am. Hello. It's cold out, somewhat chilly, but it's more or less a beautiful night. It was pouring rain all day. Then the sun came out in the late afternoon, and I got to see the mist roll in because I was working up in the mountains, the hills in Camas out here. Camas is a city next to Portland. It's up by Vancouver, Washington, where I live. And yeah, we were up in the mountains working on this house, and this sunbreak came, and there was just this mist rolling in the valley, and I could see the beams of light shining down on Portland and Vancouver, and it was just the most gorgeous thing. I mean, I never forget to pay homage and respect for just the existence of all the beauty out there. But of course that leads me to get too philosophical on the shit and start thinking, okay, well, what is beauty? It's all in the eye of the beholder. And I've thought about this so many times that it's just, you know, kind of a joke to me, but the idea that beauty, of course beauty is real. It's a shared experience, that something in our primal nature, in our subconscious, knows what beauty is. It's proportional, but it's not always proportional. You see people say, well, it has to do, you know, they think about beauty as a face. Like, oh, well, it's certain proportions or certain patterns. Well, that's not always true. A sunset is beautiful. The clouds are always different. There is no pattern. It's just, in a way, a pattern that, you know, the pattern of having the consistency like trees, cloud, sky. But sometimes you can find beauty in some of the most mundane things, and at least I can, and I guess I can't speak for everyone. But the point I'm trying to make, those little moments in life are enough to keep us going. Even though life is fucking hard. It's really fucking hard. I mean, I don't know how old you are, obviously, whoever's watching this video. You could be 20 or you could be 70. I'm almost 50, so I'm somewhere in the middle, I guess. And thank God I've almost made it through my 40s. And, you know, it's been a rough decade. They say that the 40s are kind of where everything falls apart, and by the 50s you start to recover, and then your 60s are supposed to be your golden years. There's a reason they call it that. My wife and I are, you know, hoping that by our golden years, or way before that, hopefully, we can attain what we want, like a house to retire in, you know, with a little bit of property. And we're still figuring out how to do that, but that's all part of the process and the struggle. In the meantime, we wear our bodies down. She's a server or waitress, and I'm a carpenter. So we have two of the oldest professions in the world, you know, and also two of the professions that will never go away, you know. And so it's kind of, and they're also both ones that really wear on you. I mean, any kind of construction is going to wear on you, and any type of service or serving is going to wear on your feet and your body. You're always moving, you're sweating. You know, life can be complicated sometimes, but we always seem to make it through. And I guess if anybody out there is struggling, you know, try to remember that I can't say 100%, man. I can't guarantee, but things will get better. They really will. And there are ways that we can stimulate that and manifest that by better diet, exercise, sleep, all these different things. But generally a mindset is what we need, a different mindset about where we want to be. And that can be achieved so many different ways. But I think one of the first steps is to really let go of our maybe obsession with keeping up with the Joneses, rather, trying to be like everyone else, trying to think like everyone else, to really be able to step outside, and see ourselves for who we are. And then to be able to try to achieve something great in this world. And not get down on ourselves when it takes time. I know waiting too long sometimes is, we don't accomplish anything. You have to make a decision eventually. And this is something I can attest to. I've been in this situation for many years. Just kind of waiting to figure out how I'm going to proceed in my, later years here. And where I'm going to go from here. Hey, Luz. What's up, girl? You ready to head back? Come here. I'll put you on your leash because there's another dog over there. Probably can't even see her. But, I guess I'm saying I've grown to love life, and the older I get, the more I love life, even though the struggle gets more difficult. It's an understanding with life that the struggle is part of the process. But I guess my own faith in that higher power, if you will, that greater force than us, that, I want to call it the ether, there's something out there beyond this world. I'm not saying that I believe we, go to some heaven in these physical bodies, and, my beliefs can't be explained, and I'm not here to do that, but rather to say I believe that faith in something greater than yourself can actually be one of the most amazing and beneficial things for a person. But just like they say, people with faith are statistically happier people. That's just fact. But I've never wanted to build my faith on something that I didn't experience for myself. So in the long run, you kind of have to wait sometimes. I'm gonna leash up Lucy here and we're gonna head back. Come on, girl. Good girl. So through my whole life, I've tried to figure out, what I believed or what I wanted to believe, and try not to get sucked into other people's beliefs, but rather wanted to experience life for myself to make a decision, because I believe that building your temple requires a strong foundation, and that strong foundation can take time. You want to pour the concrete, let it cure for a long time. You want to make sure that all of the everything's level, all the bolts are in properly, everything's secure, and then you start putting up your frame. And I'm hoping one day to get the roof on my temple. I guess the roof might be just our ego. Maybe I should break this down and actually write I did this a while back, and maybe it's in my journal, but the parts of a temple and what they represent. But the foundation is really important. If you build your faith on a weak foundation, it's easy to lose your faith. You have to actually experience these things yourself, and then it's totally different. And I've attained certain understandings that I can't express in language, so I'll leave it at that. But it's understandable that people want to share that experience when they do have a genuine experience, a genuine mystical experience. So beyond that, we have to just trust in the process and have faith. Anyway, I'm heading back home now, and I bid you all farewell, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. Take care of each other. Remember that we really are all of the same cloth here, one way or another, all brothers and sisters, and it's ludicrous to think otherwise. And that there is a potential to live symbiotically with this planet and be rational and reasonable with one another, and let's hope we can achieve that someday. I bid you farewell. Adieu.